I'll just say stuff like that.
Okay, the Just Good Network again. Take 3 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Jansen Harris back with the Just Good Network. Me and Sean Fowler. We were just talking a little bit about food, debating food. Matter of fact, that probably should be a segment. Yeah, it should be. But we're going to talk about Zion Williamson at Duke. 6'7", 285 pounds. He's huge. Millions of views on Instagram and Twitter. Well known. Similar to LeBron James hype, and we'll get into that. Roy Williams of North Carolina said this is the best player, Sean, that he's seen since Michael Jordan. Wow. Michael Jordan. Not Kobe.
Okay.
Not Kevin Durant. Not Derrick Rose in college. Not Anthony Davis.
Kobe Bryant was in the college, but go ahead.
True. He wasn't in college, but he said player. He didn't just say college player. He said player. To that fact.
Okay.
This is the best. What do you think about Zion Williamson? What's his
I
expectations?
think
at Duke?
Coach Williams needs to slow his roll a little bit. Let's see what he does in Duke. At Duke. And but the great thing with Zion Williamson is, of course, his stature. He is built
Yes.
like a great defensive end. I think you said off air, Julius Peppers type.
Julius Peppers.
So, and he's having the best coach, to me, of all time, in Coach K. So I think, he'll definitely fit in with that system, or they'll have they'll flow through him, because he is the most notable player who's probably coming to Duke as of now. So I think he'll help Duke, hopefully, to all the Blue Devil fans out there, get another a title there. So I think he'll fit right in with Duke. It's interesting to see how he can possibly translate, to the NBA. And there we go again with the broadcasters already talking about how he can fit in, comparing to LeBron James, this and that. But I just want to see what he does first at college. But I think it's good that he's going to do.
Yeah, great ball handler, extremely fast. He can get to the basket and he just dominates. He's unstoppable when he drives.
Right.
It's unbelievable. Look at some of his teammates too. Cameron Reddish, R.J. Barrett, Trey Jones, related to Tyrus Jones. Dude, how stacked is Duke?
Right.
R.J. Barrett, Cameron Reddish. These two guys, they're pretty good. Now, there's not a lot of three-point shooting with these freshmen coming in, but these guys could score. These guys could take over ball games. It's amazing.
Any weaknesses to his game at all? Possibly.
Who? Zion Williamson?
Right.
Yeah. The jump shot,
Okay.
the three-point shot. Will he be able to develop it? Defensively, there's weaknesses there.
Okay.
Talking about his motor, is he always motivated defensively as he is offensively to take over?
So he's not Superman after all, huh?
I mean, he looks like Superman.
Yeah.
He's bigger than LeBron James.
It's crazy. At 18 years old, too. That is crazy.
Should we be comparing Zion Williamson to LeBron James?
So LeBron James, I think it's a little too soon, because, like I said again, I think we like comparing. We get a little bit too hype, or we might overhype a situation. Like, let's just see what he does again in college first before we compare it to LeBron James. And again, LeBron James is still exceeding our expectations, because he came out of high school similar towards Kobe Bryant, and we had the whole witness, and we seen what we expected, a certain greatness for LeBron. But LeBron, again, he's the first player, or one of the 4 players to go to 8 straight finals. So it's just, I think we should compare him to somebody else, because LeBron is just, he really is the face of the NBA, and he's a legend status, I should say, rather than just a typical decent player.
And let's not forget, LeBron James was a consensus for 2 straight years #1 player. Zion Williamson, and not discrediting him because his highlights are amazing, the dunks and everything he could do, how athletic and big he is. He's not the #1 player in this class.
Right.
Let's not forget, that's R.J. Barrett. Cameron Reddish is ranked higher than him too, at #2, and then Zion Williamson at #3, which is crazy. Duke getting, this is the first time it's ever happened, the first, second, and third best player in the class.
Right.
So to me, I look at this group of freshmen. They like to compare it to Michigan's Fab Five. They like to compare it to Kentucky, I believe, in 2013, 2014 season. I like to say the expectation for this team is more. This should be a national championship team. Only question would be, obviously, maturity. Where's the mature players on this team? having guys like this. But then you have Coach K.
Exactly.
You have a guy like Coach K who's going to coach him up, who's going to show him the right things to do. Now, Zion Williamson, is his numbers going to be skyrocketed? I don't think so. You're going to see some team ball. But I do believe Coach K is going to let him play. He's going to let these kids display their talent, but in a controlled system. He's not going to be able to go for 30, 35 a game, similar to what we were seeing in the preseason, where he averaged 29 points a game, 64% shooting, just an absolute beast. I believe, 11 rebounds? Yes, 11 rebounds a game. He just was amazing. I don't expect him to always be that 30-point guy or high 20 guy on this team. I expect him to develop his defense a little bit before he gets in the league, but again, make sure he doesn't get hurt. Make sure these other guys don't get hurt, but still play hard.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to have great upside, especially, like you said, with Coach K. He's a freakish athlete, and it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, it should be amazing. Sticking to the NBA a little bit, the one-and-done rule, Sean. Should they get rid of it? Do you like it? How do you feel about it?
Don't think they should get rid of the one and done. Some players won't be in the NBA forever. You know, sometimes, again, you might go to the G League now, as we should say. So
They got a lot of development in the leagues now, actually.
There is. So I don't think they should get done with it. I think, again, like I said, not all these players coming out of college, not all players are going to be in the NBA. You know what I mean? So I think at least starting school, at least going in, for a year or possibly two, I think it helps, at least having that education as a backup plan. I know you're going to the NBA, you think of money, this and that, but sometimes, that transition is really tough. So I think they should continue to at least keep the one and done rule, and, if not, you can always join the JBA with the Big Baller Burn. So.
I like that JBA idea. But you got this wrong, Sean. They need to get rid of this one and done rule. They need to get rid of it. We're talking about the 1%ers, Sean. There is no reason we should be doing this to these kids. They should not have to go to college for a year and get pimped out for a whole year. That's what it is, Sean. They are too good to be going to college. LeBron James did absolutely fine not going to college. And I know that's LeBron James, but he is part of that 1%. I'm not talking about every kid. But what I'm saying is we don't need to see Zion Williamson and some of these other guys in college. Now, for the NCAA, this helps. Those millions of views he was getting on Instagram, Twitter, that's going to Duke. Duke is one of the highest anticipated teams of all time right now. People are going to watch because Duke has the freshmen. Duke has the NBA prospects. And that's what they care about. They don't really care about these kids' education. That's just a tool to use. That's a tool to use to your family, Sean. That's what they did when they recruited you. Oh, your son's going to have the best education in the world. They're hoping your son's going to give us 100 yards a game and 4 yards a carry. That's what they're really thinking, Sean. So what these universities want to do is like, hey, football, they got to stay 3 years. Football, NCAA football, people are watching it more than they're watching college basketball in the regular season. So if you're the NCAA, you want at least 2 years with these kids in college. If you're the players of the NBA, just stop it with this one-and-done stuff. We didn't need to see a John Wall. We didn't need to see an Anthony Davis. We didn't need to see guys like that. Some guys, yes, they're freshmen. They're a little bit immature. Their game is immature. They need to go to college a little bit, help their game out. But 9 out of 10 times, if you're in college as a junior or a senior or even sometimes as a sophomore, you're probably not going to make the NBA, right? You're probably not that good. You're not really a lottery guy. I say the sophomore is okay if you get hurt your first year, or maybe your stock is at, let's say, the 20th to 25th pick. You're thinking, okay, I stay a year. Maybe I could be in the top 10 to get that money.
Right, but Jansen, you also have to play into the fact coaching. Look, it's high school coaching, and then you want to go, unless it's just a transcendental play like a LeBron James, a Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Kevin Garnett, you have to think about the coaching, too.
And that's what I'm saying, 1%.
Yeah, so you're just saying basically.
I'm not saying every kid.
Right, yeah.
I'm not saying that the 40th kid on the ESPN top 100 list. I'm talking about the first guy.
I think they should keep it.
Maybe the second guy. I was surprised Carmelo went to college, to be honest with you. I'm talking about like the top tier, like a Zion Williamson. I don't see why he's in college.
Hey, but we got to see how his game transitions from high school to college. Now, I understand he's a freakish athlete, like you say. He looks like Julius Peppers. Put that camera on me, please. But look, we got to see how his game is. Like coming from high school straight to the NBA. I don't know. I got to see. And I think it's good at least to have Jansen. It's not 2 to 3 to 4 years. It's 1 year. It's 1 year.
What is the point? What is the 1 year doing, Sean? The 1 year is called a pimp game. What they want to do is you get the kid in. You know a lot of people want to see them play. You know ESPN is going to be there talking about John Wall, Derrick Rose, guys like that going into the draft next
level
year.
Of competition. You're going to be crossing up somebody that's 17 and trying to cross up LeBron James. Even if you are that type of transcendental athlete, man, just go to college.
So if you had a kid, you would want your kid going straight to college and not just go to the NBA. Have you lost your mind?
No, have you lost your mind?
What if my kid is a top 10 player in his class, a top 5 class? Why would he have to spend? Why would I want him spending a year in college where he can get hurt? If everything works out, guess what, Sean? He's going to sign that first deal. He could at least afford to pay, if he wants to go back to college, he could afford all that tuition within a year of that NBA salary.
I'm not telling you
A
that.
lot could happen. A lot could happen in a year of college, Sean.
You might get hurt in high school. It could be the last game.
I'm just saying, though, you got to go to high school, right?
I'm just saying, though, like the last.
But college is unnecessary for the one. I'm talking about 1%, Sean. I'm talking about the guys you know are going in the top 5 in this draft. I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about.
Quick question. Do you think Lonzo Ball should have stayed in college another year? Because people are calling him a bust after his rookie season. I'm just saying.
I don't think he should have stayed. For what? Stay another year for what?
Some more.
With what? With what
coach? Some of these guys.
With what coaching?
The same.
Let's look at the coaches, Sean. I'm for real. Let's look at the coach. What coaches? Not all these kids are going to a Coach K or Coach Williams or Coach Calipari. Coach Calipari comes out and says it.
Coach
I'm
K
trying to
not
get you
win a championship every year either.
Calipari says, I'm trying to get you to the NBA. That's what it is. There's not Tom Izzo's at every program, Sean. I'm just saying, what do you want Lonzo to do? What Lonzo did at UCLA was great things. He made his teammates better. He distributed the ball. He got himself to be the number 2 pick. Why would you go back to college? Does that make any sense? If you are a projected...
Unless you want to go to the G League.
Now we're talking about something different. We're talking about staying in college, you brought it up, for a year, and then having the nerve to go back when you're a projected top 5, top 10 pick.
Okay.
Have you lost your mind, Sean?
It's the same thing with NFL, though. The same thing. Why did Matt Leinart go back to college?
That was stupid. He hurt his stock. I remember that. He messed up.
It's the same thing with the NFL. And yes, the NFL.
Notice how Reggie Bush didn't go back. Vince Young, because they knew how high their stock would be.
Hey, but sometimes you see a Vince Young. Maybe
Vince Young went high up in the draft.
I'm saying though, but maybe you can continue to develop your game in college. Maybe an extra year. That's why some of these athletes think about it twice.
I wouldn't take the risk.
Or they just enjoy their team.
If you tell me I'm a lottery pick, my decision is made. Don't give me the brotherhood stuff. The brotherhood, no. The brotherhood is not for a guy who needs to stay in college for 4 years, and then me, who is a lottery pick.
I'm talking about with NFL as far as
NFL depth? No. If you are a projected top 10 pick, do not go back to college. That is really stupid, especially in the NFL. It's the dumbest thing you can do.
You might want that
especially if you're a running back. If you are a running back, and I tell you, all these mock drafts, everybody, all the experts are telling you you're going to be a top 5, top 10 pick, and you go back to college, have you lost your mind? You're going to be hurt.
Year.
No.
It's a possibility.
Sean, why would you want that damage on your body? You are a running back. You know what it is. You don't want to take extra hits.
Yeah, but if we were that close to winning a national championship,
oh my God!
We can do it. Why not? Why not spend extra in my brothers?
Now we care about college championships more than making the league.
I'm just saying.
Come on, Sean. Come on, Sean. Let's go to the next topic. I'm just, oh gosh. Let's talk about the Lakers.
Okay.
Should the Lakers trade for apparently a disgruntled Jimmy Butler with the Minnesota Wolves?
Yes, they should trade for Jimmy Butler. I mean, I would love that. Again, Jimmy Butler averaged almost 23 points last year, and he's been to the All-Star game, I think over 6 times. Look, I was hearing rumors that they might trade Luol Deng to Josh Hart. Luol Deng trying to free up some cap space. He only played 1 game last season, 1 game, and I think he had a 4-year, $32 million deal. And Josh Hart, again, he won the summer league. Lonzo Ball won the summer league. I like Josh Hart, but I don't know if he's going to start for our team. You bring Jimmy Butler in there, he can play defense. You know what I mean? Again, he's a veteran, and all that does, it helps the Lakers' rotation. It makes it even deeper, and also it can give LeBron James some rest. Jimmy Butler can play 2 or 3. I think it definitely helps the Lakers. And again, if you just have to trade, these rumors are true, a Luol Deng or Josh Hart, you're not using any of your young talent. You can still keep Alonzo, Rondo, Kuzma, Ingram, KCP, and all those guys. So I would definitely trade for Jimmy Butler.
Okay. I agree with you. It makes the Lakers a lot better. But damn, I'm looking on paper. If you're Minnesota, I'm not giving up a Jimmy Butler for a Josh Hart and a Luol Deng. Who the hell wants Luol Deng anyways? I like Luol Deng was with Chicago, but why Luol Deng? And another reason I'm saying, I'm not just saying that to get on the Lakers players. I'm saying that for what he brought to Minnesota last year was leadership. Outside of those 23 points a game, Sean, he was their leader. He was showing these guys how to play effectively. He was meshing with a Karl Anthony Towns and an Andrew Wiggins. I liked it. To me, if I'm Minnesota, I keep on with the keep-ons. I keep seeing how they develop. I see how Andrew Wiggins' game develops with Karl Anthony Towns, who's an absolute stud, who got that experience last year losing in the playoffs, and seeing how it flows. And he'll play better because he didn't have a great series, Sean.
He didn't. But, hey, in this day and age, look, it's 1 year and out. It's 1 year and out now. I mean, a lot of guys aren't.
And that's the thing. You're right. But the thing is this, man. Some of these teams need time to develop.
Yeah.
The Wolves, I'm high on the Wolves. I'm not saying they're going to go out here and win the Western Conference next year, but this was a pretty good team.
They made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, they lost to the Rockets. Big deal. They had spurts where they played well. I know Karl Anthony Towns didn't play exceptionally well. He should have been a little bit more aggressive.
Right.
But it's a learning experience. It's a young guy.
Definitely.
It's a young team. If I'm Minnesota, hell no. Because if the Lakers want to engage in trades, I want to get a Kuzma in that trade. I want to get an Ingram or a Ball. And if you're not willing to give any of those three up, we're hanging the phone up. We're hanging the phone, right?
You want a Josh Hart? A young great shooter?
For Jimmy Butler? Come on, man.
Probably,
And
probably first-round draft pick?
Luol Deng.
A draft pick, too?
That sounds
I'm
bad.
just
Once you bring up Luol Deng, I'm uninterested.
He's only 33, 15 points per game in his career.
I don't want Luol Deng. That was his Chicago days. I maybe wanted Luol Deng. I don't want Luol Deng no more. Josh Hart's a good young player. But to trade him for Jimmy Butler, I wouldn't do it. Again, I'd press for those guys, or I don't want it. I wouldn't make the trade. Madden or 2K?
For me.
Fan question of the day, Sean.
Okay,
Madden
well,
or 2K?
I play both games a lot when I can, so I'm going to say Madden. I grew up a little bit more on Madden. I used to have NBA Live before 2K. I really love 2K. It could be addicting. It's a lot faster paced than Madden. Madden's more strategic, but I'm going Madden. I'm the king of Madden. I'm the prince of 2K. Riskier String 44. Yeah, Xbox.
You're the king of Madden? What's your team you use in Madden?
I use anybody. Kings can do anything.
Oh, so you're one of those guys who do random teams in Madden.
Yeah, Falcons, anybody. Jaguars, Panthers. It doesn't matter.
See, me, I pick bad teams, and I do that in Madden just because if I win, it's like I overcame. So if you're the Panthers and I'm the Jets,